Welcome back to the Man That Can Project podcast. I'm your host, Lachlan Stewart, and I am very excited to be kicking off 2023. I can't believe how quickly it came around, and the New Year's passed, Christmas passed, and I hope you had an awesome Christmas and an incredible New Year. Personally, I was hidden away in Kingscliff, which is an amazing beach town on the north coast, or pretty much on the border of Queensland and New South Wales here, and it was phenomenal. I happened to fall asleep at 10 p.m. Guilty. Didn't make New Year's, but made up for it the next day. So today, we're going to be talking about 9 areas that will help you be a more successful entrepreneur. Now, at the end of every year, I love to recap how my business is going and other areas of my life and how they're going and what I feel has helped me progress in the areas that I've made progress in. And one area that I haven't spoken so much about on the podcast in recent years, really since I first started this podcast and was starting my business, is the business. And while I consider myself, I am a founder, I am a business owner, I am a business partner, I also consider myself an entrepreneur because we've built the Man That Can project off the back of an idea. And a lot of these steps may be relative or relatable for a lot of you who are potentially looking to create a side hustle. You may be in your own business journey at the moment and looking for some tips and tricks. Now, before we dive into it, I'm going to do a plug of the Strongman Value Academy. I'm personally kicking off on Monday. Okay, Monday the 9th is when I'm kicking off my game plan linked in with my training program. So it's testing week next week. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know I love testing week. It's the time where you get to see where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are. And it's also a great way to motivate yourself when you start logging your lifts and all of those metrics, measurable metrics. And when you retest every 6-12 weeks, right, it's motivation to see the progress that you're making. Or if you're not making progress, which wouldn't happen in our program if you're following it consistently, you're not making progress, you can start asking yourself, what are some things that you need to do to improve towards your health goals, right? So obviously one thing that we're focused on is really helping you improve your physical fitness, your mental fitness, which is in turn is going to help you build your confidence and have a greater sense of direction for what you want from your life. And that is one thing that I am so proud of our academy for doing, because we've helped hundreds of men get on the journey to doing that. And it's been really, it is, a great feeling to know that I've had a small part to play in that. Obviously, the only people that can do the work is you. Can't do that for you. It's that simple. But that's enough about that. If you would like to find out more about the academy, head over to themanthatcanproject.com. You can check out the memberships there, and I look forward to working with you this year. Now, let's go to it. 9 tips that will help you become a better entrepreneur. The first one, and probably one of the most important, but these are in no order as well. I was literally jotting them down. Develop a growth mindset. When I first started business, I was leaving behind an identity and a version of myself where I had accepted where I was at in my life. I fucking hated who I was. I didn't like the results that I was getting. And I thought the way that I was behaving was, the only way I could ever behave, because everyone in my environment saw that. And because whenever I tried to do things differently, I failed, right? We're all guilty of failing. But I failed. So I started thinking to myself, maybe this is all I am. Maybe this is who I am. And I have since come to realize that mindset is a choice. Whether you choose to have a fixed mindset like I once had, where I didn't believe I could change anything. I didn't believe I was in control of outcomes. I didn't believe I could learn new skills. To the flip side of that, where I am now with the growth mindset, that I know that anything that I want to learn or need to learn in order to overcome things and grow my business, achieve my health goals, become a better husband, there is someone out there that I can learn from. There is information that I can learn from. So when you are coming from a place of a growth mindset, then if you want to learn how to cook French fries and you don't know how to cook, you can learn how to do it. equally as such as if you don't understand how to use or set goals, but you know there are people out there setting and absolutely crushing goals, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, one, if you think you can't do that, you're probably, I'm going to take a stab that you've got a bit of a fixed mindset, right? You need a bit of work if you are to want to become an entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur at that. But if you're thinking to yourself, man, everyone else around me is setting goals. I've set some, I've failed some, but if people are doing it, it's possible for me. I just need to learn a few different things. You're approaching things the right way. You've got that problem-solving mindset, and that's what one of the key things that I believe has helped me in the success in my career so far. And even with this podcast, I once didn't have a podcast set up, and now we've done over 450 episodes, have over 1 million downloads, have so many incredible guests, and now we're diving onto YouTube, learning that as we go as well. It's quite fun, but I'm continually learning. Point 2, develop your network. And this has been really blowing my mind lately. I had a call earlier today with a guy who owns 6 companies, 3 in the US, 3 in Australia, and a couple of them are e-commerce and a couple of them are service-based. And for those who have listened to enough episodes, you'll have realized when I launched the Academy, I just wanted to create a space that would help or would have helped me with where I was once at. And then slowly, as we've grown and the brand's grown and I've grown, I've been very grateful and blown away by the quality of people that are coming into the Academy. You know, we've got successful parents, successful lifestyle people, successful athletes, CFOs, builders, business owners, like you name it, someone's there who is absolutely crushing it. And I look around and I go, wow, the power of network. Because rather than, you know, if I ever need to learn from someone who's absolutely killing it, I've got people in my network now that I can ask. And once again, when you read stuff off Google or you read textbooks, you're getting a lot of the logic, a lot of the theory and the strategy. But generally what's missing is what goes on in your thought process when you're faced with the challenges that may be coming your way. Right? But it's, you know, and that's just touching on that, but it's also the fact of who people can connect you with. The guy today has come here, you know, is on board and going to be helping us in a way to help us grow and scale the Academy. And I'm like, this is incredible. Like we've got people who have the outcomes and results that I want that generally just want to help because they believe in what we do. And so it's really blown me away, and it's really important to understand and look at the people in your network, right? Are the people in your network, once again, we all want to be around good people, but from a growth standpoint, do you have people in your network who can help fast track your success anyway? And that's something to think about. Third one, set goals. A goal is the direction that you want to head in, right? It is as simple as that. You know, think about it like this. You want an ice cream, what do? Most people go, I need to go to the ice cream store. When you get to the ice cream store, you think about, well, have I been specific with what ice cream I would like? Or have I not? And you might have a little bit of time to think about it then. But when you set a goal and a specific one, so meaning I want to go to the ice cream shop, or I want to go to the ice cream shop and get some salted caramel ice cream in a cone. Specificity over vagueness, right? There's more questions to be asked when you're a bit vague. But when you're setting specific goals, you're creating a direction for where you need to go. Now, what that helps you do with, I guess, even the 2 other tips that I've mentioned prior is one, what's your mindset need to be like? What skills do you need to learn? Who do you need to have in your network? That all helps you with your success, right? It helps you building that plan and understanding the man that you need to become to achieve that. Right? Pretty simple. Like the goal setting takes a bit of time, but once you've got that goal set and you've got the plan and you can focus, you will achieve, you know, most people could achieve more in 6 months than they can achieve or may have achieved in the last bloody decade, to be fair. So think about that. 4th one, and this was a huge one, but it's been going on for years in our business. Be flexible. When I first started the Man That Can project, we were men's circles. I was like, cool, that sounds good. That's what I needed, connecting with men and learning from it. Then I started asking myself, okay, how can I help men? What else am I not doing right now that can help these blokes? We started running workshops. Then I realized, hey, one thing that's important to me is flexibility in my life. Running workshops all the time is keeping me stuck in one place. So I started looking at online stuff and I started pivoting in the approaches. And while I made money, lost money, changed things, I've always been flexible in my approach and kept it based around a couple of things. One, I want my work to be fulfilling and actually helping men like you change their lives, right? That's important to me. It's crucial. The second thing is I don't want to neglect my own health, and that's mental, physically, financially, spiritually, all of that. Like it's got to tick those boxes. It's got to have flexibility. Flexibility to me is financial and time, which is why a lot of the stuff is online. So I have both. Okay. And then also meaningful connection. So connection. Now I'm not attached to people. I've got great mates, but I also know that people come and go from your life, and that's okay. So as long as I've got those things, I believe whatever, I guess, form the Man That Can project takes or this podcast takes, I am okay with. Some people think it's wild how much it's changed, but it's because I won't sacrifice, I guess, who I am and what fills me up just to earn money, okay, or just to maintain I guess, a perceived idea of how we do things. So be flexible. Number 5, integrity. And I guess that sort of tops off that. People can see through bullshit. I see it all the time. People who are doing things for the wrong reasons, whether it's to make money, and I guess making money is not a wrong reason, but if you're conning people or scamming people, you're lacking integrity. I think anything out of integrity, you probably shouldn't be doing. And in my opinion, in my experience, and my beliefs, people who are lacking integrity won't be here in 10 years' time. In business, relationships won't be there. And I think integrity, for me, from a value standpoint, is the most important thing. And sometimes, unfortunately, in business, it may lose you money because there may be things that pop up and you go, oh, fuck, this is an absolute home run. But then morally, you go, I don't quite align with that. Now, you may fight with wanting the money, but in my opinion, a quick buck is not going to have you here in 10 years' time. And from my experience, I always believe people who lack integrity get fucking found out pretty quickly. So think about that one. 6, time management and saying no. Boom. If you don't manage your time, you will have no time. So many people, and even myself at the beginning, I was like, man, do I really have to write everything down in my diary? This seems like such an overkill, like too much planning. But what I've since become to realize is when you put your time down, 1, you respect yourself, but 2, you're more productive. Things I even put in my diary is like, I put gym time, and people go, I can't book a meeting here with you. You got this in your calendar. I'm like, yeah, that's my time for myself because I don't want to be one of those fat, old, unhappy people who've just given all their time to whatever comes up and they neglected the other important things in their life. So for me, it's like my health, time with my wife, time doing things that I love goes in the diary, right? I don't want to skip that for more meetings or more whatever. So think about that, right? Your time management, and say no. Here's what I've noticed as, I guess, the Man That Can project has grown. More people have wanted to have coffees with me. Don't get me wrong, I love going for coffees and I think it's important to give people time. But if you're doing 10 coffees a week, there's 10 hours gone. That's 10 hours I could have been working on my health, my business, spending time with my wife, reading. So you got to learn to say no, because while everyone wants your time, it's not always a priority, and maybe not everyone deserves your time because they may not come valuing your time. So you really need to value your time. And look, it's fucking hard. I had to reject a mate the other day who wanted to go for a coffee and pitch me an idea. And I was like, I'd love to hear it, but this is the busiest time of our year. I need to be all in with the Man That Can project and the other things in my life. So I'm going to have to decline. And it feels good to be wanted as well. So when people are seeking you out and whatnot, you're like, oh, yes, 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 yes. But then you realize your energy is running out. Your focus is gone. Your relationship's starting to shake a little bit. So be mindful of your time and really, really, really become confident in who you are to say no. And I guess for those who are in the academy, you'll know that the breakthrough experience and all those courses are there. We've got so many courses available to help give you the framework and the understanding of how you can, one, be more certain in your ability to say no. And I guess that comes from a place of knowing what you want from your life and also being confident in who you are and how you communicate, but also time management. It's a skill, right? You can't just buy a diary and automatically nail it. It's really important to develop that skill if you really want to maximize the time that you have. So that's all in the academy as well. Let's go 7. Your time. As I mentioned, it's so important to do things for you and on a daily basis. Every day I have 2 hours that is Lockie time, and it says Lockie time in the calendar. And sometimes I structure things, but majority of the time I just do whatever I feel like at that time. Sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's going for a run, sometimes it's whatever I feel like is going to give me a bit of enjoyment at that moment in time, I'll fucking do. Okay. So make sure you schedule that time. It's so, so important in your fulfillment and development, because once again, life's awesome, but we don't know when it's up. So that's a great tip there. 8, prioritize your health. It's why it's such a big pillar in our academy. Training, right? Getting yourself, let's be honest, I don't want to just be mediocrely fit. I want to be fit, so I know I can do any challenge that comes in my way, from aerobic to strength to, whatever it is. I want to know that every day that I'm in the gym, I'm putting in my best effort and I'm progressing, right? I'm experiencing progressive overload. I'm trying new things in fitness so that I'm constantly challenged. It's why I do CrossFit. It's why I do endurance events, because I want to get the most out of myself. And I think when you push yourself continuously, you do feel more confident. Like, it's hard to feel shit about yourself when you know you've absolutely just belted it in the gym, right? So make sure you look after your physical health. And once again, that's just not all the output stuff, which is what I mentioned, training. It's your sleep. I'm wearing the Whoop here. I'm wearing the Apple Watch. I track my sleep. I track my calories, my nutrition. And once again, some of you may be going, dude, that's overkill. All right, it is. And I don't track my nutrition all the time. I do it as more like a check-in guide. But let's go. If you want to improve things, you need to track it. If you want to maximize things, you need to track it. Like, it's can be that simple. I don't know many people who have succeeded in something that haven't, one, had a coach or tracked their process. Like, where does the feedback come from? Like, it's not possible. So that's number 8. And the final one, which you're probably already guessing before I wrap this one up, be consistent and take calculated risks. Since 2017, I've been releasing episodes on this podcast. And now I'm up to 2 episodes a week, 1 guest, 1 by myself. Consistently. There is so many times I don't feel like showing up. Fuck, I tell you, even this episode, I was like, oh, maybe I can put it off to tomorrow. No, but that doesn't serve on my mission. It doesn't help me help you. So I do it. Gym, there's plenty of times when I'm like, I'm so fucking tired. I didn't sleep well. This hurts, that hurts. But I do it anyway, because I know that the reason why 99% of the time I'm outperforming people or I'm feeling more confident than other people's is because when those challenges pop up, or when the doubt pops up, or when the bullshit excuses pop up, I'm doing it. Okay, so to recap, we've got develop your growth mindset, develop and grow your network, set goals. Number 4 is be flexible in your approach and what you offer your services or products. 5 is integrity. 6 is time management and saying no. Your time, make sure you're making time for yourself. Absolute game changer. 8, prioritize your health. 9, be consistent and take calculated risks, right? There's going to be times where you have to throw a Hail Mary, but if you know where the runner is, hey, it's a good risk to take, because that's where the real growth happens. So, gents, thank you for listening there. If you got value from this, it would mean a whole lot to me if you could take a moment to leave a review or a comment if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you are listening to this on Apple or Spotify. Those reviews and ratings are like currency, and even the follows, because it helps me get bigger guests on that I can ask questions to help give you guys inspiration, knowledge, and access to people that are absolute at the top of their game. So that would mean the world to me. Like I said, if you want to check out the Strong Men of Value Academy and want to work with us in 2023, I absolutely am so keen to work with you guys there. Otherwise, just follow along on Instagram. I got a heap of fun challenges coming up this year. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday's episode with our next guest, Forrest Black, who is back for his 4th episode. We check in every year. It's an absolute belter. So I look forward to seeing you then.